and I'm here on my new channel. Haven't quite figured out how to make a thumbnail yet, but I want to get straight to the point here. Brad Garlinghouse was on 60 Minutes the other night, and I thought it was going to be, an incredible interview. Turns out they interviewed him for 90 minutes, edited it down to what, 8 or 10 minutes or something. But I want to read you this one comment that was on X, Twitter, which I've left you on here if you want to read what's on the current page. I'm going to get to that in a minute. However, they were talking about the interview, which, yes, if you edit 90 minutes down to 8, and also after watching it for a second time, I felt this comment strongly when they chose who they chose to interview him. But anyway, let me read it for you. And it's by Skyline 619. Okay, so it's clear the mainstream has no intention of making the crypto industry to be anything positive. This whole interview was a sham. They obviously picked a terrible person, to speak about crypto because he already has preconceived biases about it. Why didn't Hester Pierce or Mark Ueda talk on the interview, since they are the current chairs in SEC? To bring a shitbox of an ex-chairman shows they wanted to paint crypto in a negative light. You can even tell in the interviewer's mannerisms she wanted to make sure it was painted negatively. This is just a shit show of an interview overall, but this is a nothing burger in the end. People will either be left behind or adapt to technology, but it's clear this interview is going to keep people poor. So I just wanted to give you a quick exchange. Charlie, thank you. And I'm shouting out to you right now. Brad Garlinghouse wasn't happy with 60 Minutes. And I said, did they edit what he said or ask bad questions? And I went and watched the interview for the first time. And so I wrote he was edited from some of his points, but I thought I heard him speak on utility. But the fact that people like this do no research about crypto other than early days for possible criminal activity. And yes, there's lots of scammers. So don't get caught up in any scam type of videos. As a side note, go watch my video on scammers. All that may be true, but it's like early days of the web. I said that a few days ago. They're somewhere, and so did Brad in an interview, because crypto has a new tech speculative history. This happens with every investment. It starts out speculative, and that attracts investors, retails, and then once the whales start moving in, it switches to the utility of the factor. Think about the early days of the interwebs. I mean, come on, this is not new. Anything that really flipped a switch started this way. So it's been speculative, and sure, people were, I hear people tell me how crypto is air, blah, blah, blah. And those people are the people who cannot or will not accept that blockchain technology. And their good news is that they don't even have to acknowledge it. It'll be operating behind the scenes, and they can pretend that they still live in an analog or digital world of their own. Problem is that when these are the people who are interviewing the shakers, movers, and innovators, they don't even know what to ask because they don't know what the technology even is. But having said that, look at how it's taken a while to have Jamie Dimon come around, and a few others who, I hate to say this, but old white-haired men who needed to come around. And I'll just say this. Is it risky? Depends on how you define risky, because yes, there's going to be fluctuation. It will continue, and there likely will be. And if you're following the charts and following along with what's happening, have some numbers in your head and or on a piece of paper for your profit-taking maneuvers, okay? The problem is a lot of people are out there and they just fall for scams. And because they say it's air and they get ripped off. So let's just say this. When someone hits you up, let's say they slide into your DMs, your private messaging, either on Facebook, Twitter, or somehow into your email or your Instagram or whatever social media you actively are on. And especially if you're posting about crypto. So it can happen in X on the regular, okay? And they slide in and they make you an offer. Again, I'm going to suggest that you go and watch my video on scammers. It's on my other, channel. Sorry, it's at Zen the Crypto Queen. So I may have to go over there and find it. And if I do, I will put it in the description box below. By the way, the description box below is where everything is. If you're looking for an exchange, a ledger, all that kind of stuff, I post all that right underneath in the description box. And none of my stuff is financial suggestions. Always do your own research, okay? But back to the subject at hand. When I first started making videos, and somewhere along the line I stopped talking about it, but Swift is the current way in the back office of your bank, and I don't care what bank you're with. If you want to move money out of country, it uses Swift, SWIFT, and Swift is actually very slow. And if you have been reading what I've left on the screen at all, this is how it works. They don't trust one another. They send out, basically what happens is they send out an email saying, I want to give $100 to, a friend. I've got to switch it into your currency. Can you front me? Can you, it's very archaic. So it's going to flip a switch to blockchain technology. And that's more why I got involved with crypto to begin with than any other reason, because I knew everything has to shift and there has to be records of it. So at some point, blockchain technology is going to take over what has been archaic technology. It's just the way it's going to be. When email was new, it was this newfangled idea, right? Well, so is blockchain technology, I guess, for those who haven't looked it up, or those who are baffled by it. So what's going to happen is, as we emerge into this, let's say I want to change US dollars into Singaporean dollars. Let's say I live here now. I need to send money to somebody there now. I used to live there and send it here. Okay, either way. On my end, through blockchain technology, it will automatically, once I put the request in to send it to you over in Singapore, it will go from US dollars and, let's bridge it to XRP. I'll send XRP over to that bank over in that other country. They will shift it immediately into the currency of Singapore dollars. Boom, it gets to my friend. All this breakdown will happen in a matter of moments. And boom, Bob's your uncle. And the issue, though, is that your banks probably aren't going to lower the fees, even though this is going to cost next to nothing to do once they flip that switch. But I can go on and on about this, but sometimes you just have to do your own research. Okay, so long ago, I made a video about JP Morgan's it was called Onyx at the time. They have changed it to Kinexis. Anyway, this is like going to take XRP driving 70 miles an hour on its own highway to going 700 miles an hour using Kinexis. So things are stacking up and looking very favorable. If you don't see that, I just don't understand how you don't see it, okay? But anyway, let's go over to here for a second. What was it? Will the price surge to $2 or fall to 75 cents? I mean, you're all over the place with this. XRP, can Ripple hit $30? Sure it can. Can it hit $100? Yes. Amid Gary Gensler leaving, will it hit 20? Yes. The truth is that if you're not holding on for dear life, then I don't know what you're doing. Because if you haven't noticed, and I haven't bought any. Let me talk about this in just 1 second, so I'm going to leave it here. What I've seen during that surge where everything was making money, I was taking off some profits off of several coins and throwing it into other X coins, XLM, XDC, Quant, and also when I would set it up as a limit order, of course, to wait for it to come down, because when everything goes up, well, it's all up. So, just take it, put it in your cash account. I use Uphold. Links are down in the description box. If you want to set up a one-on-one with me, you can do that also. Please send me an email. Let's see, send it to that digital asset queen at gmail.com. Okay, so that's my new email for that. Okay, so getting back to that, or getting back to this, there's so many issues to be handled with crypto, and people who just aren't getting it, and they're making loud splashes on the news, which makes me kind of giggle, because again, it's older men with white hair who just simply either don't want to see it or don't want to change their ways. Like, look at Warren Buffett, and listen, the man is worth so much money. I mean, who am I to even mildly compare myself with that? I'm not comparing anything. I only compare myself with myself yesterday. Okay, that's as far as that goes. However, I'm just going to say this about Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is 92. What he sees coming and what he will do for the sake of his family, and I think he has 2 sons that he's going to leave his legacy to, they're perfectly fine staying in all kinds of standard investments. Okay, perfectly fine. They're not going to run out of money. He's one of the wealthiest guys, right? There's Bezos, there's Elon Musk, there's the handful of the 5 or 10, right? He's one of them. So there's nothing to worry about there. But he doesn't want to take on a new technology. He doesn't want to know what it's going to expand into. And as far as people who call crypto air, I mean, there's been a lot of Bitcoin millionaires since I got involved with this all. And this started in 2009. I think I got around to putting my foot in the water around 2011, 2012, somewhere in there. And there's been just a lot of, millionaires made, not only on Bitcoin, but on several other products as well. I mean crypto coins, altcoins. So there's that. Anyway, if you're still with me, thank you. I appreciate it. I think I'm going to wrap it right here. I'll just make another video because this one's getting lengthy. Thanks so much for being with me at That Digital Asset Queen, the new channel. I completely appreciate every single one of you. Love you, and I hope you're having a happy holiday season so far, and I'll catch you on the next video.